Good morning, cellists. Here we are on the second lesson of the G major Courante, and in yesterday's lesson we looked at the F major scale and arpeggio, which is the subdominant of subdominant of our tonic key, and I explained another relationship as well. Just to remind you of the F major arpeggio with the Valentine fingering, because this will be useful for us in the Feuillard study. So remembering a nice rotation as we come back to the C string, clean shift into fourth, lead with the elbow as we come back down, and that the fingering is a fantastic repeating pattern after the fourth finger here, 1 4 2 1 4 2. And that's directly relevant to Feuillard's 29th study, which we'll be looking at in exactly this location. Let's look at it now, and then I will show you a bow exercise in preparation for the Courante. So, we had got to the end of the 8th bar and arrived here at the keynote of the Feuillard study. At this point, we're going to be crossing the string just as you are on the arpeggio, and remembering we're looking at up bows using this fourth finger strength on the bow, which is directly relevant to the Courante. Here we have it. So there was the focus on the bow and what's going on here. But let's also consider what's happening in the left hand. Now at this point we have some rotation required for string crossing. Now at this point I'm in fourth position. I need to move back to third. There are two options. One is a clean shift. Basically you take the whole hand shape and you move back, displaced tone. That's fine, it's a clean shift. But another possible solution is a telescopic move. So here we have it, where my second finger is the location of my fourth finger, and I can telescope in my hand. And after I've telescoped, I can then move my first finger back like this, rather than a whole jump move like that. I can telescope. And the telescopic move is definitely appropriate for the following shifts. Because at this point we're only telescoping in a semitone's worth where my third finger is. I put my fourth. At this point, stretch back for the F natural, which means again that where my third finger is, when I've closed my hand again, is where my fourth will go. So it's a small telescope. Stretch again, stay where you are and rotate. So here we have it from the top. Fourth position, rotate, telescope, rotate, telescope, rotate and stretch, telescope, stretch, rotate, close. So all together. There we have it, both hands with a clear idea about the technical solution. Moving to the Courante, yesterday we touched on a repeating sequence with an echo in it. Now, considering this bowing with the dotted quavers worth in the down and only a semiquaver on the up, where we were being light on the semiquaver, I think we could very usefully try this bowing out both with the emphasis on the long down, and alternately we could try out emphasis on the short up. It will be relevant. So let's use as a tool for this 1 octave of D major, which is our dominant key, just from the open string. And that what we're going to do is we're going to apply the bow pattern with a strong down. And again. Now look in the hand here, because the strong down for a fast up, there's a bit of a rotation and a lift. And that enables us to have a strong down and a fast light lift, that you are rotating counterclockwise and allowing therefore a little release of pressure on the string. And here it is again. Now the converse way to do this is where we're going to stress the up bow, and it actually bears a relevance directly to the saraband. So here it is with the strong up. Now this is much more of a linear move, pushing directly straight. There's not the same arc and counterclockwise motion, it's far more in a straight line. And this bears relevance where, for example, at bar 11, the first type of bowing, where we've got the strain on the down bow. And then at bar 13, we had the other way around. Because each of those rising notes, we want to have a little emphasis so we can kind of build up the dominant scale there. It goes all the way up to the top D, like this. And that way we can create great drama as we rise up the dominant scale. So there's something for you to try, that bow stroke, just on that D major scale, so you can really try and feel the difference. Taking it really slowly is fine, so even slower than my examples that I gave. So yesterday we'd arrived at bar 8, actually on the tonic chord. We then follow with a downward scale, arriving on a high note. Now if you imagined it didn't have this displaced octave, you might better understand how we're going to solve the shape of these. You know, if we arrived at this low E, it's really clear that we drive straight into it. So have the same kind of conviction when you arrive at the higher E. And the nice swift down bow, we've really arrived. So drive through to the heel with a crescendo. And here we go. Now at this point, let's be really aware of the two voices. They're really coming into play. We have this voice at the top. Is what's going on at the top level, and then the underneath voice is complementing it. So we have the drive down from the lower voice, then the upper voice takes over. You can really hear that upper line with the underneath voice agreeing, if you like, underneath. We've arrived at the third beat on a strong arrival here. Using a flat bow hair, ideally for crossing the string there. And then at bar 11 and 12, we've looked at the bow solution for this. It's really the identical fragment of material that we had at bar 5. So we have here an opportunity for the echo again, and that at the end of bar 12 we're actually going to drive through. It's quite different to the previous time where we fell straight into a cadence. We're delaying the cadence here by quite a number of bars, although we're getting to the dominant already. So in bar 13, really aim for that second beat. Really enjoy the arrival, and then we're basically compounding the excitement by then coming up this dominant rising scale at the end of each beat. So that last semiquaver at bar 15 is actually going to have some thrill to it, you know, really arrive there. And then what happens in bar 16 and 17 is a very elongated dominant seventh to the dominant. I'll recap that. So we're in the key of G. The dominant is D, a fifth above. Very convenient that we're tuned in fifths. You can easily find these relationships. And therefore the dominant of the dominant must be A, because that's another fifth above. So what we're seeing at bar 16 and 17 is A major with the seventh in it. So it's really stretching out. They're all this sort of A7, even A9. The B is a ninth. It's really, really dramatising the perfect cadence here before we finally fall. And again, another trick when you're arriving at a cadence which has a drop rather than a rise, unexpected, the thrill of that. Imagine you're going up. You know that you would arrive with a strength, so you just have the same mental attitude, but you have the displacement. So we properly arrive there. So that from bar 8, it's a thrilling journey. Take care. See you tomorrow.